In a world where the only option for the University of Idaho is to become an FCS team, we have decided that we, the Cupcake Academy, will become the newest member of the FBS. That is right. The place that has produced some of the most fabulous bakers in the world will soon be coming to you. All right, for our starting lineups, so overall, our team is primarily made up of walk-on players that are all from our wonderful school, meaning that they are all quite large men, most of them being between 350 pounds to 400 pounds, which will be quite interesting when it comes to some of these players. But we have recruited a couple players over the last year because we knew we were going to be one of these Division I teams playing this year. So for quarterback, we have Daniel Ross. He is a quarterback. He is super fast. He could potentially play wide receiver for us as well if we in the future get another quarterback that we want to put in instead. But overall, we don't have much depth behind him. We do have some players that are red-shirted, and because they are red-shirted, we will not put them in unless Daniel gets injured. So, on to halfback. This is not quite as exciting of a position. These players do not have our ideal stats that we might like. However, they are both players that we have recruited, and so that should be potentially beneficial in the future for us. So overall, we're going to start with Marcus Thompson. He doesn't have the best acceleration or the best strength. However, he's got really good speed. We may put in Caleb Lundy. We'll see what happens. We got two decent halfbacks there. We have our transferred in Travis Hall. He is a sophomore fullback for our team. He will also, I believe, be playing backup tight end. And then for wide receivers, this was where we got in some pretty good players. Barrett Love right here, he is a 71 wide receiver for us. He's got the speed, 91, and acceleration of 84. We don't have too many players that have complete speed, acceleration. That's something that we will look for in the future. But with this being what we've got, we will do what we got with this. So we have three wide receivers right here. One of them, Dan Gaines, is a transfer, so he may be looking at more for us. He's got 97 speed. He was the fastest person in the class. He clocked in at a 4.2840 on his time, so that should really show up for us. Hopefully that's going to show up on the field for us. And our tight end that we are now getting to, he is an impact player for our team. We did not think we were going to land this man, but we did, and we sure are glad. He's got 80 speed, 80 acceleration. This man is the complete package for what you want as your new in this game, because this game is very heavy based on if you have a tight end. Now, the offensive line, we have the size. Whether or not we actually have the skill is the problem. But we have recruited Matt Clemens. He is a beast. Look at this man. He comes in as a sophomore transfer. He's a 78 overall. I believe he's the best player on our team. 85 strength. That's what we want in a player for us. All of our linemen that we recruited for the offense, they are all going to be starting on the field. We don't redshirt any of those guys. Right here we got John Crewe, our left guard. He's a walk-on player, but we figure he's 400 pounds. He was the biggest guy that went to the school before he came in, and he was like, you know what? I make the best cannolis. John Crewe, he's going to be our man this year. He will be destroying people with his sheer size. Our man Josh Hansen, he's an inch shorter, but he will be our center. Whether or not he might even stay. We might not try and put another center in if we don't get enough linemen. We'll see what happens. We currently have our fullback in multiple positions. I'm not sure how this exactly is going to work, but we do not currently have somebody listed at the right guard position. But then our right tackle is another position that we did recruit. He is not anything spectacular, but he is way better than those walk-ons that we have that are the 40-some overalls, and he will likely be staying on the team for all 4 years. Our left end position, we didn't get too many defensive ends. Really, the big schools came in towards the end of the year. We had a lead on some really good guys, and they just took them from us. Maybe they decided, hey, maybe I don't want to go to this trial school, but we'll see what happens to these boys over here. They're not particularly strong or fast or anything like that. In fact, our third string left end is a fullback. But our right end, Brian Johnson, he is a beast. This man's got 78 speed, 82 acceleration, 78 strength. He is a freshman for us. He is going to be an impact player for his entire career. And then at defensive tackle, we got Robert Moses. Robert Moses right here. He has 86 strength. This man really wanted to come to our school. He was like, you know what? I love making cupcakes. So he figured he might as well come here. He can play the sport he loves and be a football player. So now we have 3 linebackers that will be playing primarily for us. We will be having Chris Lundy fill in for the players when there is substitutes. Our halfback, he's got the speed at least. But Ian Smith, he is our left outside linebacker. He's got 81 speed, 93 acceleration, 83 strength. This man is pure raw talent, athleticism. He's exactly what we were looking for. We've got a middle linebacker in here, Maurice Rust. It was looking like we might lose him at the end of the year, but we got him. He's got 83 speed and 93 acceleration for us. And then our right outside linebacker, Hunter Jones. This man is pure beast. He is 84 speed and 88 acceleration. These guys are going to be very important for us. Now, the position we really need to look for this year is cornerbacks. We only have one somewhat decent cornerback that we recruited, and he's not the complete package. We were looking at some other guys, but overall we couldn't put our points into them because they weren't good enough and we needed other players. But Adam Carter, he will be a 4-year starter for us. He has 92 speed, 84 acceleration. Then we got a couple big guys. Somehow they're super fast. And then our quarterback comes in at number 4. He was actually an athlete. He was not a quarterback when we recruited him. So that is why he is going to fit perfectly into that with how our team is. I believe that George Childress was just a walk-on that was a regular-sized man for us. However, he was a 59 overall. He was a complete stud. And then we had 2 guys that we signed as strong safeties. They were not players that we actually offered scholarships to at first, but because we needed players and they both fit fairly well into our secondary, we gave them spots. I believe we decided to redshirt one of them, and we kept the one that had the greater speed. We'll be recruiting heavily into our secondary as they will be bombing the ball over us. Punter and kicker are both going to be played by our punter. Our kicker has better accuracy, so if it needs to be something that's more accurate, we will put in the kicker, but our punter has far greater kick power. We haven't quite decided exactly what we will be doing at the punt return and kick return positions yet. Currently we have our kick returner will be Adam Carter, and for our punt returns we will be having Demetrius Martin.
He is an amazing return man. However, he is not really what we are looking for his actual position, which is, I believe he is our second cornerback. Yes, he is. He is a junior. He comes in a 48, and he's better than nothing. And then for kickoffs, it will be Steve Dixon, our punter. Now, we did get both of these guys, both our kicker and our punter were players that we got that walked on. Now, however, that means for the next 4 years, we're going to have two really short kickers and punters that look amazing. So watch out for that for the next 4 years. And then for our kickoff starters, somehow Daniel Ross, our quarterback, has a 41 overall. I don't know exactly why. And then for long snapper, we will be having Matt Clemens. And so I will give you a look at some of our redshirt players that we have. So going down here, we have redshirted our backup quarterback. He is not very fast, which is why I kind of just was like, we are going to bring this athlete in and we are going to make him be a quarterback as opposed to a wide receiver, because he does not have an offensive line, basically. We have two wide receivers. Our right guard that we have for the future is Bubba Wa'a. He is a transfer from Hawaii. And then, so we have a couple more wide receivers that we have on the team, so we won't need to get any more of those. And then the second strong safety, he has a higher overall rating. However, we redshirted him as he is slower. And so hopefully he can develop. We might even move him into potentially he could move in to be a linebacker in the future as a middle linebacker for us. But then we have a few players down here. A lot of our walk-ons we decided to redshirt just because we don't want them going on the fields, because that would be tragic. And that is it for the lineup for the team. We will soon do a setting up of our recruiting board, and we will get the first game out for you guys sometime very soon.